What's up, folks? I appreciate you guys turning into my YouTube video. Today is a chill day. I'm not doing too much, but in my backyard, just relaxing. But while I was, chilling today, I thought about this story that I wanted to share with you guys. And it basically boils down to you can't trust everybody. And when I say trust everybody, I'm talking about even the people that you trust, the people that they trust. You can't trust everybody. And I'm talking about like either husband's friends, girlfriend's friends, friends of friends. And sometimes you just can't trust those people. So this story happened maybe about, I would say maybe almost like 15, 16 years ago. I was married at the time, and my husband was one of those people. He's a sweetheart. Like, he's my ex-husband. He's a sweetheart. He likes to hang out with people. If you smoke a blunt with him, you a friend. If you chill out with you a friend. He's just genuinely kind-hearted. And sometimes you just can't be kind-hearted to everybody. And so that was his issue. So we had 4 kids together, and we both were working, but he liked to hang out with his friends, smoke, drink, whatever. He used to do stuff like that, and I was cool with it because at the end of the day I knew where he was. Like, anytime I wanted to find him, I knew he was trustworthy. So I never had to worry about really where he was. And so I didn't have an issue with that. And for the most part, it was cool, and I'm like, okay, they my husband's friends, but me, I'm more guarded because I'm one of those people that I don't let everybody in. Everybody ain't my friend. I got to see how you work and how you handle yourself before I really let you into my space. But this being our space, I trusted my husband's judgment, and up until that point, it was never an issue. You know what I'm saying? So he had just started working at this new job, and it was like a assembly line type of thing. And everybody, he got cool with everybody like he always does. He's, like I said, a real cool person. Even to this day, he's a real cool person. But, he used to invite the boys back to the house, and they'd be in the backyard, drinking and smoking. And, it is what it is. Sometimes I play hostess and, bring them something to drink or not. Just say hello, keep it moving, or not. Just whatever. So this particular time, he was hanging out with his friends, and at this point, we lived around the corner from his friends. These were not my friends. I knew who they were, but never his friends were never my friends. Like, they would come over and stuff. Like I said, I'm guarded. I don't really try to be in nobody's face. I catch a vibe. If the vibe ain't vibing, I don't fuck with you. And so I can say hey and I can say bye, and I always wonder why some men be like, I don't bring my girl around all my friends. And I learned that later on in life, why that is said. No, let me say that. That was said before this lesson, and I didn't understand that, but I understood it after this lesson, or whatever happened. It's not a lesson to me. I call it a lesson because you learn in life. You learn things you don't know until you actually experience them, or it is put upon you in some way. So this friend stayed around the corner, I wouldn't even say not even 4 or 5 minutes from us. So we were on one street, he was on the other street. So I had a job to where I had to get up early as shit in the morning, and so did he. So I told him earlier, he was around our house with his friends, whatever. It got late. I went to bed no later, probably about 9, 10 o'clock. And I'm like, you got to go to work in the morning. Why you still hanging out, chilling, all this shit? Like, you got to get up too. He's like, it's cool, whatever. So I brought the kids home, you know what I'm saying? Fed them, homework, did whatever. We get into bed. So boom. So about, I would say 1, 2 o'clock, because they were so noisy when they came in, they woke me up, and my door was open. So I was like, fuck it. I looked at the time. I was like, why the fuck did he bring somebody home at 1 o'clock in the morning, and he got to be up by 6, and he we sleeping in here. Like, why would you do that? Why didn't you just leave that nigga back there, and then you come home, whatever? So I'm thinking all this. So in the midst of doing all this stuff, I get up, and I shut the door. I pull the cover up on me. I go to sleep. So I would say probably maybe an hour later. So I have a little bitty dog. He was a little small dog. He wasn't big enough to do what I thought he did once I look back on it. So I'm asleep. So I'm sleeping, and all of a sudden I feel my blanket just get pulled off me, right? So I'm like, what the fuck? So in my mind, I'm like, damn, the dog done got caught in the cover, and he done pulled the cover off me. You know what I'm saying? So I just pulled the cover back on me, And I lay down. But once I lay down, I noticed that the door is cracked. Mind you, I had shut the door before I went to sleep. So the door is cracked. So I'm still like, at this point, I don't hear nothing. So I'm thinking the dog done pulled the cover off me. So boom, take my ass on the way back to sleep. So I pull the cover back on me. Boom. So as I pull the cover back on me and I'm getting ready to go back to sleep, I feel the cover pull completely off me. So now I'm sitting up like scared to fucking death. To this day, I don't think any other experience scared me as much as that, because I watch a lot of true crime shit. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, I didn't know where my husband was. I didn't know where my kids was. I didn't know who this fucking person was. So when I sit up, now I notice that the door is open, right? So I'm like, is it my husband? Who the fuck is this? Whatever. So we had a little light in the top of the hall, like it was like from the smoke detector, and I could see a white rag on this person's head. So I know my husband, he didn't wear do-rags. So I can't see his face, but I see him turn around and walk. We had a long hall that when you look out, you could see our living room. So he turned around and he walked, not run, didn't do nothing, walked back to the couch. So I'm sitting there stuck and froze, like who, what, when, where, who the fuck is this? I'm scared. So fuck it. I'm like, you know what, my kids, because now it kicked in like my kids. So I get up and I kind of look and peek out the door, and this nigga looked dead in my face, looked at me, turned around, laid down on the couch and closed his eyes like this motherfucker was asleep. So I know who it is now. Now I know who the fuck it is. So first thing is like, where the fuck is my husband? Where the fuck is he at? So I go in there and I touch this nigga, and he over here and passed out fucking drunk, knocked the fuck out. So I go over here and I tell this nigga, I said, wake the fuck up, wake up. And he like, what? Don't know what the fuck going on. Don't know what, when, how, who did what, right? So he like, what's wrong? I said, come here. So he came back there. This nigga's laying there like he sleep. He laying there like he sleep. No, good motherfucker where he ain't sleep. So I called this nigga back down. I'm like, listen, this dude was just back there pulling the cover off me. He was like, he was lost. This is really this is the thing that kind of solidified our divorce anyway, because if you a man and you can't protect your family, I don't need you to be with me, period. Because at this point in time, like, I done been with a real hitter. Like, I've been with a real hitter. So I know what a motherfucker do when you violate them. And then you gonna violate them and they wife in their house and you just don't do shit. So he's sitting there like, oh, whatever. So I hear him go back up the hall. So I'm like, okay, Showtime, what the fuck you about to do? Because this shit is very disfucking respectful. This nigga go back up the fucking hall, go to the couch, nudge this nigga. This nigga still acting like he sleep. Nudge this nigga. He's like, what, man, what? I said, that nigga ain't sleep. What the fuck is you doing? So I hear him tell that nigga, man, she tripping, man. You gotta go. I said, I'm tripping. Oh, bro, I went off on his ass. I was like, what do you mean I'm fucking tripping? This nigga just disrespected me, your house, your kids, everything. And you sitting up here talking about I'm fucking tripping? So he like, no, man. He said if he did it, he don't remember because he drunk. Fuck that, you don't know what you did when you drunk. If you that motherfucking drunk, then you don't need to fucking be getting drunk. Because at the end of the day, somebody gonna fuck you up. If I had a gun and if I had a permit, then he probably been shot. Period, point blank. But back then I didn't, because one thing I do not play about is my safety. And if you call yourself my man, you got to protect. That's another thing in pride. Provide and protect. You can't just let anybody in your home. You can't, because you don't know what their agenda is. It don't matter if it's to steal from you. It don't matter if it's to sleep with your wife. It don't matter if it's to fuck with your kids. You don't know. So you can't just assume everybody good people, bruh. So I told him from that point on, I said, don't invite no more of your motherfucking friends to my house, period, point blank. And he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. You know, my bad. Mind you, like, at this point in time, I'm like, you a weak dude. Like, you a weak dude. Because my dad, he was in the military, and he had a fucking Purple Heart. One thing I knew with my father is when we would sleep, I would watch him walk the floor, hear him walk the floor, checking doors, checking windows. He did not play when it come to his family. When somebody tried to fuck with us, he handled that shit. So I'm used to a protector, number one. And you can't protect me And my kids. So my kids is me. So I ain't gonna let nobody fuck with them. Like, you supposed to be my nigga, but you can't stop that. So, so he said he wasn't gonna do it anymore, right? So boom, I would say not even a good 3 months down the line, here he come to me again. Such and such needs somewhere to stay. He just need to spend the night. That's it. Can he spend? I said, I already told you what the fuck it was. I told you not to ask me no shit like that. Like, excuse me, you didn't get the memo from the first one when I told you about old dude. Now you steady here asking me, can somebody else spend the night? Bruh, like, needless to say, that was the beginning of the end. Because at the end of the day, I protect me. Number one, I'm a female. I am single. But one thing I know, if you are not invited to my house and you come to that door and you come through that door, whatever happens to you is between you and Jesus. Because at the end of the day, I ain't gonna let nobody hurt me, and I ain't gonna let nobody hurt my kids. I come from a long line of military men, and I see they're protectors. They don't play. They about their shit. And at the end of the day, when I get with a guy, he got to be about his shit. I understand everybody ain't built like that. I get it. Like, I don't think, if you're not a fighter, then fuck it, you're not a fighter. And that's what my ex, he is never a fighter. I done seen niggas straight punk this nigga in his face and he doesn't do anything. And it's like, okay, cool. I never look down on him for that. That's not my thing. But it comes a time and a place where you have to stand up for your family, especially if you're the head of that household, especially if you're the man of that house. You have to make sure that your family is straight. And if you cannot do that, then I can't do nothing for you. Some other woman can do something for you, but I can't do nothing for you. So I say all that to say this. Be careful who you let around your family and your friends and in your circle. Please, because you may fucking let a motherfucking devil in, or wolf in sheep's clothing. You'll never know who you let in. If you hear men say, I don't bring my girl around all these niggas for a reason, sis, trust what he's saying, because it's a reason that he feel like that, because he know his boys. He see how they get down, and if he don't trust them enough to bring them around you, then salute that man. And the same thing with females. Like, I feel like you got to be real careful who you bring around your man around, because these bitches might see how good he take care of you and be trying to be like, you know what, I can be that. I could be your side chick. I hate to say this, but people love to destroy happy homes. Not all people. There are some people out there that love it. Like me, I love to see beautiful families together. I love it. I think it's an awesome thing. It is too many broken families. But at the same time, you have to be real careful who you allow in your space, because that's private. That's personal. And you need to understand that the people you around might not respect it just the way that you do. And they might do some real vile shit and cause you to violate them on levels that you never thought you'd be able to violate a person on. So just be careful of who you keep around you. Be careful about who you let in your circle. And that's the end of this video. If you like it for me. If you like this video, like it. If you know anybody, or if yourself have been through anything similar to this, let me know, because that to me was a real traumatizing thing, a real traumatizing event in my life that I just feel like I wanted to share and people should be aware of. And it goes back to when I used to say, you know what, I don't understand why your friend can't be around. I'm cool with it. No, as I get older, I'm 43. Back then, I think I might have been like 23, 24. So, I didn't understand shit then, but, now I do. And I try to tell my daughters, because they're in their 20s, and I try to tell my daughters, be careful. So, yeah, if you like this video and you fucking with it, let me know. Y'all have a good one. Deuce.